Alrighty, good morning. This is Dennis Miracle. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this little neck pillow, and you can see the measurements of it. It's about roughly a foot, and in the center it's about 4.5 inches across. And I'm going to be sewing on the or embroidering on the Janome 550E today. I have a FOF, I have a Viking, I have run it, it runs fine on the FOF with a VIP extension, but of course with Janome you use the JEF extension. But I've got my largest hoop ready to go, though I see there's quite a few wrinkles in it, but it's not going to matter. This is the 36B, the largest one that comes with the 550E, and I think, let's see, let's go over here to the machine itself and see. Okay, wake up. Okay, and it is the RE36B, which is 7.9 by 14.2. The design itself is 7.4 by 13.1 inches. I considered doing it in the 8 by 12 hoop because that's more common, which is the 200 by 300 millimeter hoop. But then I thought it would just really be too small. This is about as small as I think would be usable. But you're welcome to use whatever software you have and make it decrease the size of it so it'll fit in a 12 by 8 or 8 by 12 hoop. So let me see. There are only, I believe, 6 color changes or 6 color stops, and here's what you're going to need. Now, what I did that I think is a little different, I've bought neck rolls, neck pillows before from Walmart or wherever, and they're made of almost like muslin, very thin material, and they just kind of disintegrate after a year or so. But I have taken the fabric, all of these pieces of fabric that I'm going to tell you about, the sizes you need are folded in two, so you have a double thickness of fabric all the way around. You are going to need, well, we saw that it was 12 inches roughly across. You're going to need a zipper that's probably 14 inches or so, 15 inches. I've got a bunch of 20-inch zippers, and I'm using those to get, because I'd had so many, I bought them in bulk, white and black only. Though I may try to use one of my other zippers, regular zippers. I've got a lot of colors, but not many of each color. Okay, so you need a zipper. You need 2 pieces of fabric that are 8 by roughly 13 and a half, folded in half and ironed with the crease, or 2 pieces of fabric 4 inches by 13.5 or roughly 14 inches, and those you could use if you don't have enough of a main color. You could use those as the color that's not going to show, but I've been using just whatever I had enough of. And then for the lining, you'd need the same, well, it's not really lining, it's the other side of the double-sided piece of fabric. As I say, if you are running low on the main fabric you want to use, you also need another piece on the back side. So 4 inches by 13 and a half. And then you need the piece that goes, the prior pieces were the pieces that go on the front right next to the zipper. Then you need one bigger piece that would be about 8.5 inches by 14 inches, two pieces or one piece that size, folded in two to make it so you really it'd be what 16 by 26 to fold those in two, and I always put a nice crease, but you definitely need a crease on the first two pieces that are going to be used that are up against the zipper. So anyhow, we're going to get started. I'm going to run the first run the placement line, and it's just simply a placement line for the zipper, which will go right down the center here, and I'll be tacking my zipper down. And of course I forgot to say, yes, you need something to stuff it with, and I just use fiberfill, and it's so easy now that I put this zipper in here to add or take out or whatever you need to do. Anyhow, I know I'm rambling. You probably not understood any of this because I'm unintelligible at points. But I'm going to be using this pretty fabric here. I'm making this for my cousin's wife. And so let's get started. And I'm going to do my cutting of fabric. I think this is a ½ yard, so I know excuse me, I just had a cup of coffee. I know I will have enough. If you have a ½ yard, you will certainly have enough fabric to make this. So let me start cutting the fabric, and but first I am going to run this and attach the zipper. So let me do that. I'll be right back. All right, I used some orange thread to do the placement stitch, so I know where to place the zipper, and I'm going to take this humongous long zipper here, which I think is 20 inches, way too long, but I tried one of my smaller zippers, which apparently are 12 inches, and they just don't cut it, so it's this or nothing. So I'm going to attach this with a piece of tape here, piece of tape here, and I like to put a longer piece of tape at the very edge of either of the sides. So let me do that, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. All right, you can see I've taped this down here, taped it down here, and I've put a little bit of Scotch tape right here, right on the very edge of the zipper to hold it there, or at least try to. So let me stick this in the machine. I have also changed the colors of the actual thread I'm going to use to a light pink, because this is the pretty piece of fabric I'll be using. So let me stick this in the machine and do the next step, step 2, which will sew the zipper down. Be right back. All right, I've got this stitched down. You can see barely the light pink, and I've got the head of the zipper up at the top of the what I consider the top of my frame, and so I'm going to stick this back in. Now let me grab my ruler. Okay, you can see that if you put your piece of fabric right up here close to the center, that basically you've only got 4 inches to cover, which doubled over in 2 obviously is 8 inches. Same thing over here. Hopefully I didn't do one. Now that one doesn't. Yeah, well, anyhow, it's 4 inches doubled over to be 8 inches, so it gives you a nice sturdy neck roll. So let me put in, the next thing that I'm going to do is put this back in the machine, and it's going to show me where to place it's going to be an outline of the area of the two areas, one on each side of the zipper, as to where to place these first pieces of fabric, which are 8 inches folded in two by, what did I say about, let me see, starts right there, where those, right here, and then goes up there, and that's, well, that's about, well, it's about 13.5 inches. So let me do that and I'll be right back. All right, you can barely see where the lines are that you're gonna, and then down like this, and then over here and through here, and this is what we're going to use. Now I have laid out a piece of the fabric I'm going to use, and I'm going to, I need a piece for this side and a piece for that side. And as I say, they're about 4 inches times 2. There, I need something 8 inches wide by at least 14 inches tall. And so I'm going to take, I've got this piece of fabric here, I'm going to take, and I need 2 of them, one for each side. And this is doubled over. You can see it's folded over. So I'm going to take, where's my, and also it's 19 inches long. It's a half yard. So I'm going to take and put my 8-inch ruler thing there. That's some technical terms I'm using, ruler thing, or cutting piece. And so I'm just going to go up and cut the whole thing off. I know it's longer, and it's 19 inches long. I don't need that long, but I'm just going to be wasteful and do it anyhow, so let me do that. All right, I've taken and have cut this piece off, and I did remove these extra 5 inches, and I'll put that in the scrap pile. But I need to, since this was folded over on itself, I need to cut it into right along the crease here. Then I need to take it to the iron, and then do some more ironing, do some more creasing. So I'll be right back. Okay, I now have 2 pieces, 8 by, I think they were 14, at least 14. And I'm going to take these 2 pieces and I'm going to fold them in 2 and go out here into the hallway where my iron is, because I've got about 15 sewing machines plugged in my sewing room, and this blows the breaker if I add this iron with all those plug-ins. So I've got to put it out here on another, it's out here in the hallway, which makes it not so convenient. Anyhow, let me fold this in 2 and crease it, and I'll be right back. Now you can see I have folded the pieces over and put a nice crease along each one of them. So we're going to take and place these up against the zipper and put a few pieces of tape there to hold it down. So let me do that. Okay, now you see I have placed the creased line up against, right almost to the center of the zipper, this on both sides, but the crease towards the zipper, closer to the zipper, and then the opening raw ends on the outside, just to make sure people understand that. And it basically covers the entire hoop. So let me take a few pieces of tape. I'll put one up here and one down here. And I'm going to stick this in the machine, and it's going to sew these down as I recall. So let me do that. Let me rephrase what I just said. This particular step, as you can see, is just going along. I've placed my fabric, and it is going and attaching with a double stitch the fabric to the zipper. You'd think I made the thing and I'd remember, but I can't remember what I had for breakfast 10 minutes ago. So anyhow, it's just affixing them so they are well fixed to the zipper, and by using a double stitch. And so it's going to cut and go and do the opposite side. So I'll be back in a moment. All right, that has been completed. You can see the double stitching along the sides of the zipper, and now it's going to sew the rest of the piece down on both sides, and let it do that. All right, now what that did, remember originally we had these two rows of stitches that were double stitches very close to the zipper, attaching the zipper. This last step I ran made another just regular stitch, running stitch along all the way up, and it, well, where is it? I can't hardly see it myself. Okay, and it has stitched this piece. Can't even see it. Okay, there it is right there. It stitched it. I can feel it with my finger but can't see it, and it stitched it down on both sides. Now what you need to do at this point is you need to open your zipper at least halfway, and so let me do that. Well, I removed tape on the front side here that was holding this down, but of course I forgot one thing. We need to, I use my a seam ripper, and I try to use a seam ripper that has the little ball on this end so that it doesn't cut. I put the ball part down, but I'm going to start right here and cut all the way down here across and back. So, but I can't, it seems like the balls have fallen off of every seam ripper I ever had. So let me try to do that without puncturing the zipper itself, because God knows how many projects I've ruined with puncturing the zipper and cutting it. So let me try this and I'll be right back. All right, now you can see I've cut this piece of no-show mesh, allowing the zipper to be opened from the front. So now to resume the regularly scheduled programming, open your, I need 3 hands and a brain. Okay, well, I'm going to have to put the phone down to open this, but I'm going to open the zipper to about midway, and with this particular machine, the Janome, I noticed yesterday that I'd opened this somehow to almost to the end, and the head of the sewing head almost hit it. Now I use this device here, which is a Janome part, and it's I think used for free motion quilting or something, which I don't do, and it mostly just slides right over everything because it's concave, and it just works fabulously versus what came with the machine. And I think it's part of I don't know, a free motion package that's about $75–80 at I'm sure Martelli has that device, but I tell you, it has been worth every cent because it makes this machine. Plus, you can take this screw right here and you can lift this piece up or put it down low, which was to me the major drawback of this machine, that you couldn't adjust the sewing foot height. But anyhow, I'm getting off track as usual. So now I've got this. Well, no, I didn't do that. Let me put the phone down. I'll be right back. All right, you see I moved the zipper pull to the about the center of this, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take the piece of fabric that would be 8-9 inches across, full, and then double that, so it'd be about 18 inches across by 14 inches long ways, and we're going to do after we cut it, we'll do our ironing part to crease it nicely. But it's just going to be, we're just going to lay it right over this area here and run the last step, which will put the two pieces together, or three piece, 1, 2, and the third piece together, and it'll do it with a I think I put a double stitch on that too to try to hold it together better. So let me do that and I'll be right back. All right, as I come here to the cutting table, I see that, of course, this is what I had cut these two pieces off of here, and as I say, I believe this was a 1/2 yard, and so I'd forgotten that I already had two separated pieces, which is okay, and they're a little bit long, but I'm going to take them and pull them, get them all lined up, and give them a good press, and then I'm just going to, okay, this one's facing up, and this one's facing towards the zipper. So I'm going to just place this entire thing, even though it's bigger, over, just place it over the entire design, and that will do what we need it to do. So I'll be right back. All right, I pressed those two pieces. Like I say, there's two pieces here, one facing up, one facing down. And I've got a little overlap here that I don't really need, so I'm going to take my cutter and just get rid of that. Okay. Oh, well, let me see what I did here. Did I pull it? No, I'm fine. Okay, and I'm going to stick this in the embroidery machine, and it's going to do the final stitching, and it will stitch this all together. And anyhow, I'll be right back. All right, now the design is finished. It has stitched everything together, and so I'm going to take my scissors and just carefully go along and trim about 1/4 of an inch away from this, and I will be back in a few minutes. All right, I've trimmed it, and this is what we're left with. So I'm going to open the zipper all the way and turn it right side out. And I don't try to take off this, what is this, no-show mesh. I just leave it in there. So let me turn it out, and then I'll begin the stuffing. And here's one more picture of it turned the correct way. So I will start stuffing it now. All right, here is the finished product. I think it is just beautiful. And I use them. I sleep. I don't care which side it is. I don't get bothered by, I don't feel this. I don't feel the zipper. My neck doesn't feel it. So anyhow, that is the neck roll, neck pillow. And I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you'll make a bunch of them and enjoy them and give them as presents. And this is for my, well, I'll call her my cousin also, although she's my cousin's husband. This is for Donna. And so anyhow, thank you for watching as always, and everyone have a blessed day. Thank you.